Hey, my name is Matt Mitchell from Shrinking Season 2 on Apple TV Plus, and you're watching Popternative.
PD Beats here from Popternative to speak to Matt Mitchell about Season 2 of Shrinking, coming to Apple TV Plus soon. Welcome to the show, man. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much,
Good
man.
to see you. We're here in LA in person. It's awesome. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
this is cool. It's like old school.
Absolutely. You were recently at the premiere for Shrinking.
Yeah.
And is it starting to kind of sink in a little bit more after being on that carpet that people are going to be able to see what you worked on?
Yeah, it's starting to feel a lot more real, which is like very cool. I've been a huge fan of the show ever since it first came out. I tell everybody I feel like I manifested being a part of it because for a whole year I was walking around being like, this is the greatest show on television. Everyone please watch it.
Yeah.
And now to be a part of it and to have people able to see me be a part of it is just, yeah, a dream come true. It's starting to feel very real.
And it's interesting, right? Because at some point, you do the audition process and everything. You get the script and everything, and then that kind of like aspect of like reading the script, reading your stuff, and then seeing it come to life on screen while you film it. What was that script to screen journey like for you specifically on Shrinking?
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I mean, the script is just so good. Having, like I said, been a fan of the show, reading it, you go like, oh, wow, this is so good. How can this get any better? And then you go on set and you're working with people like Krista Miller and Ted McGinley and Jason Segel and Harrison Ford. And you go like, oh, wow, it can get even better. And then you have Bill Lawrence and everyone there, James Ponsel, people just helping to shape this. And it really felt like, from script to screen to being able to watch it is just like, takes a community, and I just feel lucky to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And you mentioned community, and it reminds me because your background's in theater.
Yeah.
And that's where really you learn the craft, right?
Yeah.
Of like acting and everything. Did you always know that you wanted to do performing and acting, or did that kind of just happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you ask my parents, they would say I always knew because I feel like I was always just like busting a move at a wedding, trying to do like a weird breakdance move or something. But I grew up playing soccer when I was really little. In elementary school, I was a goalie because I'm really lanky and just wasn't afraid to like throw my body at the ball. But then when it came time to actually try out for advanced teams, I was not quite advanced enough. So my dad signed me up for theater classes. And it just stuck. And it's been just the greatest gift of my life to have two parents that also like really support me doing that.
Absolutely. So much happens before you go to camera on something like Shrinking, right? You're having discussions with, the cast, the directors, the writers. So from an acting storyteller perspective, you can see it as two journeys, right? Before filming Shrinking and after filming Shrinking, or do you see it as one big journey with multiple steps from an acting storyteller perspective?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I feel like I think of it as one big journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think of every project as just like another little. I heard this phrase the other day that I really liked about Hollywood, which is like you're not climbing a ladder, you're just a frog jumping from lily pad to lily pad.
Absolutely.
And it's just another step in that journey and just informs who you are. But yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't have been able to do Shrinking had I not had the theater background that I had, and I just think everything informs everything.
Absolutely. It is October. It is spooky season.
Yeah.
You have a film that eventually people are going to be able to see in that kind of world with Killer Rental.
Yeah.
What is it like working? I mean, horror movies and thrillers, they've always been around, but there's been a big popularity in them in the last 5-10 years. What's it like being part of that kind of world at a time when there's a big appetite about them? And do you want to continue to work in that genre?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to continue to work in the genre. It's super exciting, especially like what I did, like the indie horror space. I feel like is really having a moment and popping off. And it just feels so cool and accessible, and it's a really fun journey to be a part of because going into set, every project is different. When you're working on a comedy versus a horror project, when you're doing a horror thing, you come in and you go like, oh, is today one of the like chill days, or is today one of the days where you're getting dumped in blood? It's just as like you never know what to expect. So I would love to continue to be a part of that, and continue to not know what to expect.
Absolutely. It's interesting you look at Shrinking because I find it interesting. There's two ways how we consume television, right? Yeah. There's the binge where it all drops,
right?
And there's the traditional week to week, which is Shrinking.
Yeah.
I like both.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could choose one, but there's something about that week to week, like those dinner table conversations that you have with your family about that was a great episode, what's going to happen next. Like, do you think about that at all? Because it's interesting. Because I think there's a place for both of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a place for both. I think what's nice about something like Shrinking is that it works as both.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it because I've just always been a big fan of Jason Segel and Bill Lawrence. So when the show came out, I was like watching it as soon as it, and watching it week by week, waiting to see what happened, and loved watching it that way. And then when I booked the second season, when I told my mom, she watched the entire thing. I think the season one, watched the entire thing in one night, and loved it and has been obsessed with it ever since. So I think it works both ways. I think, it's just an interesting.
That's how we watch it from the press angle.
Really,
they send us the episodes in advance. Right?
Yeah,
So
you're just watching everything. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And it's interesting because I feel like the life of an actor is really kind of on to the next and on to the next journey. Sure. What would you say is like your favorite thing about being an actor and a storyteller?
Oh,
is it diving into all these different worlds? Is it playing different characters?
Yeah, there's a couple different things. I remember hearing an interview one time with Andrew Garfield where he talked about like learning to build a chair for playing a part, and I think there is something really magical about being an actor because it gives you an excuse to become an expert on like a very specific thing, which is very, very cool, just for a brief amount of time. But then another thing I really love about it, probably just from a theater background, is just community and building that community and getting to be a part of it, like going to the Shrinking premiere and seeing all the people that I worked with and just all the hugs and getting to see everyone again and just looking at the amazing thing that I got to be a part of is, really special.
You've been part of the AppleTV Plus family for a while because you also were in, Now and Then with Rosie Perez. That was very serious and drama. This has comedy in Shrinking, but has the drama component as well. Does the mindset change, preparation-wise, change when you work on different genres, or is it all storytelling for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think in its most basic form, it's all storytelling. It's the same kind of prep work. You're figuring out what the character wants, why they're there, making sure you understand the tone of the project. But with something like Shrinking, it really keeps you on your toes because you want to be able to do both. I mean, it's like a prize fight almost, where they're throwing drama at you and throwing drama at you, but then they get you with the comedy, or they're making you laugh, and then suddenly they're making you cry, and you want to be able to serve the material in the best way. So you've got to be able to do both, and
I can't wait for people to check out
Me too.
The episodes of season 2 of Shrinking, man. I'm so happy for you again. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for doing this. It was so great we were able to do this.
Yeah, this is so fun, man. I'm excited for everybody to watch it. It comes out on October 16th, and the first 2 episodes air, and then after that it's weekly. So
traditional drop, absolutely. Your Instagram for people to keep update with everything is just your name, right?
Yeah, it's at Mitchell Matt.
Awesome. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You're going to be able to catch Matt Mitchell in season 2 of Shrinking on Apple TV Plus. Again, this is PD Beats and Matt Mitchell signing off.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.